everyone, welcome to Practising Violin with Jennifer Clift. In this video I'm going to go through the scales that are required for the grade 3 of the Royal Schools of Music syllabus. I'm going to practice them with you several ways. The first time I'm going to talk about the scale, about its characteristics, what to think about so that they're easy to memorise, and then I will play at a slow tempo. I'll put the metronome on, play the scale first, separate bows, and then slurred. When I've gone through all the scales, I will do a playthrough at exam tempo of all of them. Once again, first separate, then slurred, so that you can go through with them and check that all the scales are equally well prepared, ready for your exam. So the grade 3 scales start off with A flat major, 1 octave. The key signature is 4 flats. We have B flat, E flat, A flat and D flat. As always, they're always written in the same order. We start with a low 1 on G, and our top note is a low 4 on D. And you have to think about the low 1s and the low 4s, and it's what I call our first finger pattern. So if you look at the chart, we have a tone between the first finger and the second finger, another tone between the second finger and the third finger, and then a semitone. And you have 2 identical patterns on the adjacent strings. A flat major uses our first finger pattern, and we start with an A flat. We have to roll the finger back. Don't do it by shifting back or the other fingers will be out of tune. We're in first position, and with our first finger on the G string, we just slide backwards along, moving from the bass joint here. So we have an A flat to start, then a B flat, another tone to the C natural, and a semitone, so the 4th finger goes down right next to the 3rd finger. Now on the D string, the same pattern, low 1, the E flat, F natural, open out for the 3rd finger, and A flat right next to it. Come back down the same way. As you come back down, try not to shoot backwards with your fingers, just lifting them up gently so that they can go easily. 4 and 3 placed together. For that D flat, close to the 3rd finger. B flat, walking backwards, don't let it come slipping up. And the same with the A flat. So a word about the rhythm before I put the metronome on. I use the long tonic rhythm. I like to have a long, strong beat on the tonic or the key note in each scale. And so the rhythm, we will be doing 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. As you can see in the separate bows, there is bow distribution involved. I go a whole bow and then near the point, and then a whole bow up to the lower half of the bow. In the slurred bowings, they're just 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm always using the same amount of bow, but for each pulse. 2, 3 and 4 and. Holding that last note for a full half note. Now slurred. 3, 4. So E flat major, 1 octave. Here we have only 3 flats, B flat, E flat and A flat. We're doing the same thing, starting a low 1, this time on the D string. And the top note is a low 4 on the A string. Same thing, low 1s and 4s, first finger pattern. As you can see from the chart, the same distribution of tones and semitones on both strings, but now on the D and the A strings. E flat major is the same as A flat major, but starting on the D string. So low 1, using our first finger pattern. Low 1 for the E flat, F natural, G, and A flat. So that first finger pattern, which will now just transfer over to the A string. Low 1 for B flat, C natural, D, and an E flat close to the third finger. Come down. Now place 3 and 4 together on the D string. Let the second finger come back slightly. It might have slid up to join the third finger. Make sure that F natural's in tune, and the same with the E flat. 3, 4. Now slurred. E major 1 octave has 4 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. We start with 1 finger on the D string. This is what I would call a normal one because it's E natural this time. And our top note, we're going to use the 4th finger on the A string. This time we use the first finger pattern, but we're going to use the open A string when we get to the open A, and on the way down as well, instead of using a 4th finger here. But it's the same thing, 1, 2, 3, A, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the same distribution of tones and semitones. E major uses the first finger pattern, but instead of placing my 4th finger for the A, I'm going to use the open A string. So I start with a normal 1, we're just in first position, first finger on D. F sharp, so tone there. Another tone for the G sharp, aim high. 0 for your A, B, C sharp, stretch out for D sharp, and place that 4th finger comfortably next to the 3rd. Coming down, play the open A string. Now a G sharp, stretch out, opening your hand as you do so. F sharp, moving back a little, and E natural. E major, separate bows. 3, 4. And slurred. B flat major is the first of our 2 octave scales. It has 2 flats, B flat and E flat. We start on a low 2 on G, on that B flat, and our top note is a low 4 on E. So we've worked all the way up to a B flat there. We have to be thinking low 1s and then low 4s on A and E, and an open string on D and A. B flat major 2 octaves uses that same first finger pattern in the upper octave. So if you start with a low 1 on A for that B flat, you'll see how it uses the same pattern of tones and semitones here, 1 tone to 2, tone to 3 and semitone to 4, and on the E string, low 1, 2, 3, and a B flat with that fourth finger. So that's your upper octave. The lower octave, we start with a low 2 on G for that B flat. Then a tone to the C, use your open D string, pull back for E flat, F natural, D, use your open A, and a B flat. So in this scale we have 2 open strings, D and A, and then 2 4th fingers, E flat and B flat at the top. No open E strings in this scale. B flat major, 2 octaves, first separate bows, 3, 4. Slurred. D major, 2 octaves. This is where we're going to shift up into the 3rd position. We have 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. We start on 0 on D, on the open string. And our top note is the 4th finger on E, right up in 3rd position. So the scale tip, we have to think about shifting into the 3rd position for the 2nd octave. We've come through the 1st octave, and here on the D in the middle, we place a 1, and then we do the top octave in 3rd position, and then we shift back down into 1st position. And that bottom octave is just how we learnt the scale in grade 1. D major, 2 octaves. Here we have the fun of going up into 3rd position. And I'm going to start by explaining that 3rd position. We want to first find that D, but we'll find it in 1st position, where I put down my 3rd finger. I'm now going to slide up the neck of the violin and place my 1st finger. And then I use the same 1st finger pattern, being aware that as I go up the neck of the violin, the fingers are a little closer together. So don't stretch out your hand as you would in 1st position, keep them closer and really listen. So D, E natural, F sharp, and G. That's our first block of the 1st finger pattern. Now I come over to the E string with the 1st finger. Careful I don't go backwards or forwards with it. It has to be right there on the same level. B natural, C sharp, and D. Coming down. Over I go with 3 and 4 close together. F sharp, E natural, and E. So the bottom octave, I start with a D natural. This is the most basic scale really. 2 and 3 are going to fall close together. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and this is the moment where I slip up. So just practice it a few times, just even releasing the fingers. You can squeeze and release just to feel that slippery feeling, that we're not holding on tight at the base, at your thumb or bass joint. Careful the thumb doesn't do this, it stays just gently against the neck of the violin. So releasing and up we go. And when we come down, it's the same thing. We do a D, Check we're not tight, we're flexible, and we come down. As you come down, open a little so that that C sharp and B fall in tune. Just do it lots of times until you get used to this feeling and how the neck of the violin feels where you'll be aiming for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Minor, 2 octaves, just stays in first position the whole time. We have no sharps or flats in the key signature, although the G sharp is added as we go up the scale. We start with the first finger on G, just a normal A natural, and our top note, the other A, is on E, the third finger. Because it's a minor scale, it sounds sad. That's produced by the minor third, so a normal 3 if you like, instead of a high 3, which is how it would be in A major. And the augmented second is between F natural and G sharp. So between low 2 and high 3 on the D string, and low 1 and high 2 on the E string. A harmonic minor is 2 octaves, but all in first position. And we can divide it into the 2 octaves, but also divide it string by string. I think of the lower string as being what I call the minor string. So we would start A, B natural, and then a C natural, so close to the second finger, which will create our minor third. So that creates the sad minor sound. And then we have, of this octave, the upper string, if you like, is the D. And here we have our augmented second, so the sort of Arabic or Oriental sound of that. So we have D, open string, E. Now between the low 2, the F natural, and the G sharp, we have the high 3. We have a big stretch there. It's 3 semitones. So we're done. E, F natural, really aim high there. And then we're going to go up the scale. A string is our minor sounding string, C natural. And then E string is our augmented second, Oriental sounding string, E. And an F natural, pull back that first finger, and a high 2, so big stretch there, and the 3 is close to it. As you come down, place just the 3 to prepare the low 2 here. No C sharps, C natural, B right behind it. Same thing, aim high for the G sharp, F natural, right back. Put your 1 right behind the 2, careful it doesn't stay as an E flat, it's an E natural, D, C natural, B. A minor harmonic, 2 octaves. D harmonic minor, 2 octaves. It has similar problems or challenges to the D major in that we have to shift up once again into third position, but it's the same place. And then we have to think about the minor third, so it sounds sad. We have the minor third, so we're playing an F natural, a low 2 as we start the scale, and then the augmented second, so between B flat and C sharp, a low 1 and a high 2. In the top octave, the same difference in distribution. We have a semitone here and this augmented second, a tone and a half, between the second finger and the high 3 on the third, in the third position. Perhaps the most challenging of this set of scales, because you have the challenge of moving into third position, and you have to think about the minor and the augmented second. But it's the same system. On the D string, with the F natural, we create our minor third. So that makes it sound sad. Then on the A string, we use a low 1 there, that's a B flat, and a high 2. Now we shift up, same shift from a C sharp to the D natural. Now we're in third position. We have again a minor sound, D, F natural. So the second and third fingers are close here. Now on the E string, here our augmented second is between a low 2, B flat, and a high 3. On a C sharp and now a D. Place just your fourth finger here for that G natural, because now I walk back for my F natural, right behind it for my E, with that second finger and D. Check that I'm relaxed, especially my thumb and the base of my first finger, so I can slide down, and I'm going to slide for a C sharp and really step backwards for that B flat. And then we have a minor sounding scale. Sorry. F natural. 3, 4. Slurring it. And finally, our chromatic scale, just 1 octave. Always make sure that you know where to start and finish in chromatics. It's easy to carry on too far. So we start with on D, just a 0, open string, and the top note is the D, the third finger on A. And we're playing every semitone. We use low 1 and normal 1, then low 2 and normal 2 on each string. We place a 3 on the G and a fourth finger. Instead of using a high 3 here, it's more efficient to use the fourth finger before moving to the open A string. On the way back down, don't forget your open A as we come back down, and then 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0, and that'll see the whole chromatic scale. Starting on D, ending on D, third finger on A. Be careful that you're really aware of the parameters here. It's easy to carry on up with chromatics. And we're basically going to be using low 1 and normal 1, then low 2 and normal 2, and then 3, but instead of using a high 3, we will use a fourth finger. So we're going to play D, pull back, once again, no shifting. We just pull back with the first finger, do a horizontal slide up the string to an E natural, an F natural, right close to 1. We'll basic, we're playing every single semitone, F sharp, a G right next to it, and a G sharp with your fourth finger. So we form what we call a cluster with 2, 3, 4 all falling close together. Now we have A, B flat, B natural, C natural, close to 1, C sharp, and D. And come on down, as they say. C sharp, C natural, B, B flat, A. 4, 3 and 2 all fall together. Practice that move a few times, then it gets easy. G natural, F sharp. Pull back with that second finger from the base of the finger to an F natural. E, E flat, D. So the chromatic slowly with the metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so now for our grand finale, I'm going to play through all the scales, twice each, so first separate bows and then slurred, but now taking them up to exam tempo. A flat major. 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat major. 1, 2, 3, 4. E major. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat major, 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slurred. D major scale, 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor harmonic, 2 octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. And slurred. Finally, the chromatic scale, this is just separate bows. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I hope you find this video helpful for your exam preparation. Check out my channel too, there is some videos of the pieces, not all of them, but some of the pieces from grade 3. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter and at my website jenniferclift.com. Thank you for watching and all the best in your exam.